Probably dreaming.
I understand what you're going through, Sweetie Belle. I too have a sister who often shines more brightly than me.
I see what you did there. The story here is essentially Sisterhood of Social 2, but while that episode was about Rarity learning how to deal with a younger sister and how to be a good sister herself, here Sweetie Belle learns... well, actually I'm not entirely sure what she learns, but I'll get more to that at the end. First, let's take a look at the sister interactions we get here. This episode was a huge improvement over 2 weeks ago, as both sisters have a mutual understanding and respect for each other's needs and priorities by helping each other in whatever way they can. At the same time, however, Sweetie Belle doesn't try to persist when asking Rarity for help once she explains how behind she is with her work. Rarity, much like in Sleepless in Ponyville, shows that she now takes great value in her sister and wants to do whatever she can to please her. Though an interesting scene we see later in the episode shows that she apparently understood the importance of this even before the events of Sisterhood of Social. I guess she forgot this lesson after she moved away from home. It does seem like in Sisterhood of Social that this is the first time she's seen her in a while. And once again, we have Spike playing a large role in one scene and then disappearing for the rest of the episode. But to be fair, this was a good scene for him. It's a rare interaction between him and the CMC, and is it me or did he seem more mature here with the way that he asked them to cheer up and went to get them punch? Now I can see some people having a problem with the way Sweetie Belle is acting after the play. She asked Rarity to make the dresses look good, and Rarity has no way of knowing that they would outshine the play itself. Yet Sweetie Belle is mad at her for making them too good. By the way, if the dresses were the only thing the crowd liked, how come they still gave the play a standing ovation? Anyway, we know it's not right for Sweetie Belle to be mad here, but personally I think this is kind of a logical reaction for a kid of her age. Like I said before, the CMC are getting older now, and they are at that age where their hormones are working overtime. Or some pony equivalent of that anyway. And they are starting to try and prove that they can be independent and do things for themselves. There is a lot of peer pressure on kids at this age, and their emotions are running high, so when Sweetie Belle finds that the only reason anyone liked the play had nothing to do with her, she's upset and angry and ends up taking it out on her sister. I also think that Sweetie Belle probably got rather stressed out organising this play, so the fact that it didn't work out had to be disheartening for her, what with this being her first play. So with all these heavy feelings of disappointment, frustration and anger built up inside her, she had to find some way to let it out. It's not right, but it is understandable for a kid of her age. Hold on, Buck. Are you just excusing Sweetie Belle's bad behaviour just because she's a kid? Doesn't that kind of undermine kids? No, I don't think it does. You see, all kids have a handicap that they can do nothing about. They lack life experience. Life in general is a trial and error process. We are constantly trying new things and to try and get better at them. Simply put, Sweetie Belle has not had enough practice at life yet. I also think it's important in any form of fiction that kid characters act like kids. Otherwise, what's the point of making them kids? Wesley Crusher from Star Trek The Next Generation was a kid character that was clearly added to the cast with the intention of being someone that the younger members of the audience could relate to. The problem was, he didn't act like a kid. He never got emotional, he never made mistakes, and a lot of the time he seemed to know more than the adult members of the crew, thus making his being a kid meaningless. But anyway, back to the episode. Here's a somewhat minor thing that annoyed me. How did Sweetie Belle know about the key stitch that held the headdress together? She wasn't in the room when Rarity explained it. Still, we get to see Sweetie Belle using magic, so it's not all bad. I felt that the dream sequence was nice and had a lot of creative visuals, and the bit at the end with Rarity's breakdown was genuinely creepy. But I did feel like it went on a bit too long. The way Luna shows Sweetie Belle the past, present and future had a clear Christmas Carol vibe to it. I also think it's pretty obvious now that Luna will be visiting Apple Bloom in a dream at some point, though most likely not till next season. Some of you might have a problem with the way Sweetie Belle's friends are acting like dicks, but if Sweetie's childhood was anything like mine, these probably aren't really her friends as much as just other foals in her class at school. Though with that said, some of their dialogue annoyed me.
Poor Sweetie Belle. No pony's gonna come to another one of her parties after this fiasco. Who needs a birthday girl when you've got the birthday girl's amazing big sister?
Subtlety? What's that? But it's interesting that Rarity doesn't look any younger here, so I guess that means she's probably a generation older than Sweetie. Hence why she acts like a mother to her a lot of the time. I thought it was pretty funny the way Sweetie Belle figures out that she's dreaming, though that's not very true to real life. To quote Cobb,
"Well, dreams, they feel real while we're in them, right? It's only when we wake up that we realize something was actually strange.
But I am getting a bit sick of hearing the Wilhelm scream, and what's with this weird filter when Rarity turns the light off? Ooh, hey, dolphins! Nice bit of foreshadowing there. Now we come to the part of the episode that probably bugged me the most. The way Applebloom and Scootaloo are acting. They seem a bit distracted from the matter at hand, considering this is their friend's sister's career on the line. I know this is another indication that the CMC are getting older, so it would make sense that they would be starting to get more interested in popular music, but this is not the time to talk about it, girls. I thought the chase scene was pretty funny, and it didn't go on for too long either. And the way Luna shows up in reality to help out shows that she doesn't just randomly drop into other ponies' dreams and then just forget about them. She actually does want to properly help. Now, I'm a little unsure about the ending to this episode. There wasn't really anything wrong with it. In fact, I thought it was really sweet how Sweetie Belle was able to add just a little extra something to win Sapphire over. But it really felt like something was lacking from the resolution. It seems like things just ended once everything was resolved. I mean, Sweetie apologizes for her outburst, but it doesn't seem like she really learns anything from the experience. Like, maybe she could have figured out that the fact no one remembered anything about the play other than the dresses might have been her fault, or that if Rarity hadn't made the dresses, the reaction could have been even worse. I also think it's a little unclear what the lesson in this episode is. Is it about not blaming others for outshining you? Or is it just about finding out the whole story and looking at the bigger picture before taking action? I mean, these aren't bad lessons, I just think they could have been conveyed better. So overall, I love the relationship between the sisters here, and I like that this is once again focusing more on the CMC's growth and maturity. The dream sequence was a little strange in places and kind of long, but it did still serve a good purpose. Spike and the other 5 were not overused here or kept on screen any longer than they needed to be. But I can't say the same for Applebloom and Scootaloo. I think the story could have been improved by having Sweetie go to Canterlot on her own. We'd have lost that fun chase sequence, but I can live with that. The ending is also kind of rushed, but I still liked the way things got resolved. It's not quite up to the standards of Sisterhood Social, but it is undoubtedly Polsky's best episode to date.